$5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and even $20,000. Viewers of this channel are getting incredible sums of money from your city, county, and state across the board. And there's literally almost no state that's not giving viewers of this channel hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So how are the viewers doing it? They're doing it by two ways. Listen to these broadcasts, volunteering their information to other viewers of this channel who are sharing it across the board, and then the volunteers of this channel who are finding free money from your states. States are stepping up, and they're stepping up in incredible ways. While Congress can't even figure out whether to brush their hair to the left or right, they have hair. States are doing an incredible job of sending out stimulus checks, $1,200 stimulus checks, $375 stimulus checks to the residents right now. States that had $1,500 stimulus checks a week ago are coming out with another round. Meantime, states are also giving free rent stimulus, free utility stimulus. What's going on? What's going on is CARES Act 1 money. That's use or lose. There was $150 billion given to states and cities that they got to use or lose right now. And while we want certain people in Congress to lose a hairstyle, Congress is actually now wondering why states aren't losing your money. States aren't losing their money because they're giving to the viewers in record sum. This is an incredible recording of how you can get that money as well on Purple. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so excited for you because so many more viewers are getting incredible sums of money from their city, county, and state for rent, stimulus checks, utilities, food, and even gifts. Yes, even gifts. It's just incredible. And if you're in a city, county, or state and say, I don't have anything in North Carolina. Yeah, you do, because the viewers are finding stuff everywhere, and the volunteers are helping them get it as well. So please subscribe, because in this recording, I'm going to go over why the viewers and the community of this channel is so good. The viewers of this channel and my recordings are ensuring that you get money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 months from now, and not 5 years from now. Across this channel, I'm trying to ensure that you get this money right away. And every city and state, I've detailed the exciting news in which viewers have gone to money when people think there's nothing around. Oh yeah, there's money around, and I don't mean a few $100s. The incredible great news is that you should be getting this money, and in this recording, I'm going to go over those details. So please subscribe. Also, like this video. In this video, I'll be going over the money that's available from your city, county, and state, stimulus checks, rent stimulus, and food stimulus, and how even toys are being given out as well. Then I'll be turning to the other type of stimulus that's coming out. That is the extension of UI benefits from your states. Thank goodness. Some states are stepping up and ensuring that your benefits don't lapse. Meantime, exciting news from Congress, as Congress is proposing new stimulus in the CR that we didn't just have hours ago. What is this? In addition to a stimulus check, they're now talking about rent stimulus, a rent grant. They're talking about an eviction moratorium and a mortgage forbearance. Then, how about the $2,400 of SSI and SSDI? How about EIDL? How about PPP? How about the big rent grant and the food grant? Those would be coming in January, and I'm going to go over those details and more, and how do you apply for them and what's going on with them. There's so much free money available for you, and I'm tracking down the money and getting it by the minute. So let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that states are sending out free money, and the free money is landing in the next couple days. First, states are sending out free money. Some states are sending out $1,200 stimulus checks. Some are sending out $375. Then some counties are sending out stimulus checks. In some cases, you have to actually apply or go online. Sometimes you don't actually sometimes you actually physically do something. For example, in Orange County, Florida, went live with a stimulus check a few days ago, closed it out, and then is going live with another one. That is the first round of stimulus. We call it a stimulus check. This is a check you can use for anything you want. It's not contingent upon anything. The next one is free rent stimulus. This is money to go for your rent. And I don't mean 1 month. Viewers are getting $5, $10, $15, even $20,000 for free rent. And this is becoming from your city, county, and state, and then from privates. Let me go through each of them right now. Cities have it in what's called City Hall or City Housing Authorities. States have it in what's called State Housing Authorities. And counties just have it in their counties. You need to look at your City Hall, County Hall, and State Housing Authorities to find the money. That's where it is. Some of it's announced nationally, some of it's not announced with big pomp and circumstance. Some of it's brand new, some of it's been around for a couple of weeks. For example, if it's Miami-Dade or Broward County or West Palm or Palm, they've had them around for a while. Some are expiring, some have expired. Then other places are newly being announced. Newly be announced, City of Atlanta, most of the counties of Georgia, New York, the entire state, the City of New York, the City of Houston, the County of San Diego, and it just continues and continues. Nashville City. What's important to understand is that we sit here on Wednesday, as we sit here on Wednesday, they could be more by the hour. They're announcing them across the board because the cities are upset that you don't have this type of relief. Next, utilities. There is virtually a utility assistance program in every single city. This is an easy one for you. Don't ever assume there's nothing in your state because ultimately there's almost always utilities. Who's paying the utilities? First, it's being paid by utility companies, so call up your utility companies. Then sometimes it's being paid by your local housing authority. When you're calling up these people, this is what you say. I'm looking to see if you have any rent assistance because of the pandemic. I'm looking to see if you have any utility assistance because of the pandemic. That's all you say. Assistance because of the pandemic. Do not add words to the question. Do not do the following. I want to see if you have rent checks, or I want to see if you have a stimulus check. That's not what the question is if you're looking for rent. What you want to do is ask, do you have rent assistance for people who when you have difficulty paying because of the pandemic? Also, don't add words to the question. So don't qualify who you are. I want to see if you have rent assistance for people who are over 92 years of age. Wait a second. Why did you add that to the sentence? Keep it very, very simple. Simple words, and don't narrow the question to your particular situation, because the answer will be no. I mean, they don't have anything specific to 97-year-olds, but they have something for all the residents. It's as simple as that. Keep it simple. Now, the privates. When I use the word to describe the privates is I'm referring to nationally known, long-standing, 100-year-old nonprofit organizations, religious or political organizations are paying rent and stimulus and utility stimulus and even giving out free Christmas gifts during this pandemic like you've never seen before. In the case of Mississippi, for example, viewers have now reported no less than 3 separate organizations are paying rent. In the case of Rhode Island, viewers are reporting no less than 2 organizations are paying for rent. In Texas, 1 organization was paid for rent. Now they're in another situation. In the case of 1 private organization, they're paying utilities across multiple states. They're all out there. So tune into Purple Power Live tonight at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time so you can hear those companies. I go over each of those companies on air. Meantime, go to news.la.com/community, which is also in the pinned comment above here. Look for the word volunteers, and it'll send you right to the LALATE website that lists the volunteers who can look up these items for you if you have problems looking for them as well. It's that simple. Now, how about stuff beyond your state? And before I get to that, let me go over something that's important to understand. As you sit here on a Wednesday afternoon, if you don't see anything today, don't think it's not going to be there tomorrow. Why? Because states are just announcing things left and right. It's all very exciting. And don't presume that because your city or state had something done in July that they won't do it again. They're actually doing exactly that. So that's what's a little strange about it. Finally, states are stepping up and giving you extended weeks of UI in some cases like Hawaii. So that's an additional relief that states are doing. All right, let's turn to the federal government. In the proposed CR, the congressional resolution, the budget bill that has a deadline of December 11th, yes, this weekend, is there any stimulus beyond a stimulus check, which is currently landing somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000? Is there anything else in there for you that puts money in your pocket? What, as you saw in the video right before this check, I said that there's literally like 9,000 memos at this point. It's crazy. It's just out of control. It's almost hard to report on. But one of the memos is proposing to give you rent stimulus from the federal government. This is really exciting. So there's that one that's new. Then there is PPP. If you're a small business owner, you can go get a PPP, and I think that PPP will survive the torches of negotiations. I think that one's going to survive. And beyond that, I don't see anything else in this. So what would come right after it? $2,400 if you're on SSI and SSDI? Yes. So let me go over that one. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, or Veterans benefits, you've heard me report on this channel about Joe Biden's plan to give you three things. That would likely be in a standalone bill coming in January. What are the deal items? First, $200 a month, all the way up to December of next year as a stimulus relief. It would land on top of your current benefits. You wouldn't have to do anything about it. It would be as high as $2,400 or possibly as high as $4,000 as Joe Biden. Then he would raise your annual benefits one time, lifetime, about up to 20%. Third, he would tie it to a new benchmark other than COLA. There's that. Then what else would you see as stimulus coming in January? One, 2 rounds of EIDL. First, a round of EIDL to pay the people who applied for EIDL grants before and didn't get it or only got a part of it. That EIDL grant is expected to come in the Biden plan in January. Then an EIDL grant for people who never applied for EIDL in the first place. That expected to come in January as well. CDC grant, yeah, that as well. That's for frontline workers. The amount is really unclear. Hazard pay, absolutely. Joe Biden's an advocate for hazard pay, and he expands the definition of the essential workers. So ultimately, people are always asking, am I an essential worker? Is a congressional leader an essential worker? Is a San Francisco hairstylist an essential worker? Well, Joe Biden's expanding it. He's going to do 10,000. He's going to do $10,000 if Mitch McConnell rolls over. Yeah, I don't see Mitch McConnell giving you $10,000 of hazard pay if the GOP retains control of the Senate, but Mitch will give you something. Joe Biden wants to give you $10,000 based upon $13 an hour from January all the way up to 2 months after the pandemic's over. I don't see that number. I see something smaller. Joe Biden wants to give you that $50,000 lifeline grant. I just don't see that happening. I see it smaller. But the really good news is that all these things are for you and that they're going to kick in right then. So what's important to understand is that as you sit here today, are you only allowed to get one thing? No. So what I've told viewers is if you get one thing, if you're successful at getting utilities assistance right now because of this channel, then start looking for rent assistance. Or if you get a stimulus check, start looking for the next item. And I've also said, if you hear my recording and only want a state stimulus check and don't want state stimulus rent, then ultimately 2 things could be happening. One, you don't rent, so rent stimulus doesn't help you and utility stimulus doesn't help you. But if you really do rent, do not get excited about a state stimulus check. Why? Because the rent is there now. Let me say that again. The rent stimulus is there now. If you could get $5,000 to $10,000 today, why would you worry about what's going to come potentially, or maybe never, of a $375 check in about 2 weeks from now? Yeah, the math is sort of obvious. Don't sit around waiting to look in the mailbox for a potential couple $100 stimulus check that may or may never happen from your state when you're in a state where viewers are getting $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Let me give you an example. In Massachusetts, one viewer got a $15,000 grant for rent for him and his family. This is free money. Doesn't get paid back. The viewer understood that in the state of Massachusetts, it was hard to find something for the city, county, or state, but went and found it. And what's incredible great news is he got it. Do you think that viewer sat around and waited for Massachusetts to issue a stimulus check? No. $15,000 meant his rent was paid for 6 to 10 months. And that's what he has. His life has been changed during the holidays, he told me. And he understood the priorities involved. Another viewer understood that sometimes things compound. What do I mean? Some viewers are getting rent plus utilities in the same process. So that viewer got $20,000. Last, one of the most important things I advise viewers is don't sit back and wait on a waiting list. If you have found something that has a waiting list and you apply, then that's fine, but don't not apply somewhere else. Because ultimately, what's a waiting list? A waiting list is not a guarantee you're going to get the money. Most viewers who get this money get it within 48 hours. They apply, they learn they're approved, and then the money lands. EIDL is an example of that as well. EIDL pays out very quickly. A lot of exciting news, and if you have questions about how to get this money, tune into Purple Power Live, which is every day here at about 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. I go live, I answer your questions about this grant money, state, stimulus, and more. And also go to the community page, which is news.lalate.com/community. Coming up right after this video is Being a Mitch. And Being a Mitch is about unemployment. UI, PUA, and FPUC, but it ultimately turns into a firing squad about people saying, I heard that you're only getting $100 a week. And I heard it passed. I heard it got extended. I heard, oh my God, as Sir Lloyd would say, I don't want to hear about the herd. I don't run in the herd. I'm not a cow. Well, yeah, he is a cow, but that's how he deals with the situation as well. Tune in for Being a Mitch shortly after this video. It's live, and it's going to be a lot of fun. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay in LA for more.